Welcome to Sisterhood Check-in. I am your author and coach, Nadira Lewis, and I am excited that this Friday, again, you get to spend your holiday weekend with us here on Sisterhood Check-in. So I don't take it for granted that you have spent your Friday evenings here on Sisterhood Check-in broadcast. If you are watching us via YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the notification button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, make sure you click like and share if you've been blessed by the content you've been receiving this far. All right. So I'm excited about our guest today, Denise. I've met her fairly recently, and it's amazing how sometimes when you run into people, you just never know. That's why it's always good to not just kind of just braze over people, but take the time and get to know people, because you don't know how that person can affect your life, and you don't know how you can affect that person's life. So it's always important to just take the time and just, we live in a society where everything is quick, fast, in a hurry. We don't take time to talk to people anymore. We're either texting or we're sending messages, or we're not taking time to actually have conversations with people. And what happens is when something happens, the only thing you have left at the end of the day is the memories that you make with people. At the end of the day, when you lose someone, or when somebody, when there's tough times, or whenever there's something that you're going through, the only thing you have left is your memories. So make sure that you are making memories that will not just be for today, but for long term, so that when people see you and they think about you, they think about the memories that you've left for them. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this video. And once we do this video, the next person you'll see on screen is my guest, Denise Brown. All right, we'll see you soon.
Planning for college is an exciting moment in any student's life. It's the time when you learn to stand on your own and make so many choices for your future. Whether it is choosing the right school, discovering scholarship opportunities, meeting college test prep expectations, or establishing your career goals. There's no better time than now to get organized and to start planning. Are you academically ready to apply for college? Let the Office of Excellence be your college resource guide.
And we are back with my special guest, Denise Brown. Woo! Welcome to Sisterhood Check-in. I am so excited. I have made sure that I have gotten a lot of rest just so that I can be able to do this interview with you. You are a phenomenal, strong woman, and I am so blessed to have had the privilege to get to know you. So Denise, I want you to take some time and talk to us about, you have such a beautiful testimony, but not only that, I love your spirit. I love the fact that you, to me, are an example of what it looks like to persevere, regardless of what's going on in your life. And it's something I've been thinking about over the past couple of days. And I'm just excited for everybody else to know what I have learned in the past couple of days. So Denise, take some time and share with us, how did you become this awesome woman that you are today?
Well, let me start back.
Okay.
I'm a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a truck driver for about 20 years.
Okay.
So, when I started growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was doing a little waitressing here, a little there. Didn't know what I wanted to do. So I sent myself to truck driving school. And that's what I've been doing, truck driving. So in 2018, I had been in my apartment. This is going to be funny. I was in my apartment for 15 years. And I was like, I am not spending another dime on this apartment. So I packed up everything in my apartment. I lived in my truck all of 2018.
Oh, wow.
And I had my house built from the ground up. So every time I would come through Atlanta, I would stop by the house and look at it, see how it has grown.
Wow.
So I moved in February, Valentine's Day, 2019.
Mhm.
But 2019. So I'm on the road working. I work January, February, March, April, May. April, I was driving and I was doing like this. And I felt a knot.
Mm.
It was like a little P. Mind you now, this is in April. I drove April, May, June, July, August, September. Some said, Denise, go home. It wasn't nobody but God.
Mm.
Go home. I get home the end of September. I had a mammogram done. They instantly sent me to the breast center.
Mhm.
Biopsy came
Mhm.
October the 3rd. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 2.
Wow.
I was like, look, I live alone. I I gotta work. Give me a couple of months and can we take care of this then? They said, okay, fine. But when I came in for my appointment in November, they was like, Miss Hurd, you are already going into stage 3. We've
Oh,
got to take care of this now. So
wow.
instantly, you got to think, I'm single. I live alone. I just bought this brand new house, and I've got to go and have a double mastectomy.
Wow.
But instantly, money has stopped. I'm gonna tell you how God works. When I moved in my house, all I had was one bedroom set, one TV, a car, and my motorcycle. The whole rest of the house was empty. My whole house is furnished.
Wow.
The whole house is furnished, and I have not worked since 2019.
Wow.
I've had my double mastectomy done. Um, the cancer was in my lymph nodes, so I had to do 15 rounds of chemo. Like I said, I live alone. I had to do everything by myself. I um I didn't have nobody come change my sheets, cook for me, nothing. I did everything by myself.
Mm.
Um, my hair fell out. Y'all see, I'm still bald headed. Um, it's been rough, but let me tell you, God is not gonna bless me with all that He has blessed me with for me to lose it. I'm not worried about nothing. Nothing at all. God is so good to me. Real good. I'm just saying, like, I just lost a girlfriend of breast cancer just a couple of weeks ago. I lost another girlfriend just 2 days ago.
Wow.
When I first found out, I cried. I had a pity party until I got oh, no, I'm in the bed and I was crying. And I have the Alexa in my room.
Mhm.
Alexa just came on. I forgot the gospel song that was playing, but I didn't tell Alexa to come on. It just came on by itself.
I didn't know that.
Alexa, don't come home.
That was my Alexa.
So Alexa came on and I forgot the gospel song, what it was. So when I heard it, I was like, God, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm screaming and crying. So I got myself together, cut the Alexa off. I go to the bathroom. I come back, and Alexa is playing another gospel song. So what I had to do was, God was talking to me. How can I be so selfish? God has spared my life. I'm not dying. But yet and still I'm in this bed crying and having a pity party. I said, no, I can't do that. I got my butt up out the bed. I cleaned myself up, put my wig on, and I started living. I started doing things that people were, I turned black. I didn't care.
Wow.
I didn't have my new girls yet. I didn't care. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm alive. I couldn't stay in that bed and having a pity party, crying, oh, woe is me. But God didn't bless me to
Right.
live. Nah. Mm-mm. Wasn't gonna work. So I'm here and I'm living.
It's amazing because when I look at you and your smile shows a level of contentment and happiness that supersedes external things. When I was listening to you say all I had was uh,
Yes.
I'm saying to myself, well, if that was all you had, for some of us, that was more than enough. You had your own house.
Right.
You
God
said I only had one bedroom set. Well, some don't even have that.
don't have that.
But it's amazing that just looking at the fact that how God was just showing you in your situation, in your circumstance, how He was there, that He's an ever present help. You
Yes,
know,
he is.
and even when I think about our conversation and just being able to, I think sometimes when you go through things, you kind of start to realize that certain things just don't really matter. You
Mm,
know, when your body is, you don't want to wait until you're sick or when your body is sick before you start to appreciate the simple things in
mm.
life, and before you appreciate the gift that God gave us called life. Even with me being down for the past couple of days and not feeling the greatest, um, one thing I realized that what fuels me is my purpose for being here in the first place, being here to be a sense of encouragement, a source of hope. You know, that gives me life, knowing that that everything that I've gone through in my life was not just meant. It didn't just, to God, it wasn't wasted. He took all the things that happened to me and used it and turned it around for my good.
Yes.
Even though I may have not been feeling well the past couple of days, the more I started thinking about the fact that it made me think about two things. That one, how important self care is, because sometimes we can get so focused on just going, 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 doing, 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 that we forget to take time to take care of the very body. Even though our spirits may feel like we can go, 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 and do, 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 our bodies are always there to remind us that, yeah, though you may feel like you can do 1,000 things,
Mm-hmm.
this body is not ready to handle that. So I am learning and have learned over the past couple of days the importance of just shutting down and just
Yeah.
um,
Eh,
having self care. Because really, when you think about it, when I did a video on the Wisdom Clinic, and we were talking about health, and we've been talking about health on Wellness Tuesdays in the Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Clinic. And one of the things that we've been talking about is emotional health and making sure that we take good care of ourselves, not only just physically, because physically, we talk about that a lot. People talk about, taking care of yourselves externally, but the most important thing you have to realize is that when I realize is that when you are sick inside your body, it doesn't matter what your physical part. You don't even care about the physical part.
no.
But peace of mind doesn't have a look on it. It doesn't have a physical attribute in terms of what you want to look. It's an internal thing.
You're right.
It's an internal thing. So when I see you and I see you smiling and you're excited about what God is doing in your life, that's a peace that isn't something that external. That comes from having comfort and knowing that God is your healer, that He is the one that has been healing your body. Because not a lot of people make it through this season, and for you to respond even at the time that you did and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm checking my breasts," and for you to even, I mean, I look at the grace of God for you to even wait and say, "Hey, wait, I'm gonna wait a couple more months,"
Mhm.
Wow, and to see God move the way He did, it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to think. And when I went in, they told me, Denise, you have had cancer since April. When I first found it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to get me through all those months up to October,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, there's women now that have had cancer that long and don't survive.
Yeah.
But I know God has a purpose for me. I'm here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for a reason. And like I say, and you said we have to slow down. Yeah, I have to slow down. I'm a person, I keep going, 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 going. This is my third surgery on this boob because I won't sit still. I won't sit still. But I've learned my lesson this time. God said, I'm finna sit you down for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't finna do nothing. So I said, okay, Jesus, I hear you. I ain't doing nothing, Lord. So I'm here now.
I think most people don't realize, and even something I didn't really quite realize. I mean, you hear it, you know about it, but you don't really grasp the reality of it. Is that when you rest and you allow your body the opportunity to rest, there's something God designed our body to naturally heal itself. And when we take the time and we keep going, we don't take the time to slow down and allow our body to do. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have artificial things
Yep.
to keep up with, to keep it from actually breaking down. When you don't realize that the best antidote is to just sometimes just lay down and just allow your body
And,
to recover.
and rest.
We live in a society where everything is do it now, do it now, do it now, and do it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And success is being is talked about in so many ways of just going and keep going, 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 that we start to think that we're not doing or not fulfilling the purpose for our life if we're not on 100 all the time. But what I'm realizing is that sometimes you have to shut down and give your body that opportunity to rest, or your body will create,
So,
it will become diseased. Your
yeah.
body will become diseased because you have not allowed it to properly rest and restore through the simplest terms, the simplest things such as sleep and rest.
Sleep and rest. Yes.
Mhm.
I'm learning how to do that now.
You always look like you just so revived, like sleep and rest is just.
I'm, I'm learning how to do that right now. I'm so tired of sleeping, but I know I gotta do this. If this gonna work, I've got to do this.
Like I'm on an assignment of rest R&R. That's my assignment and my purpose. R&R.
All
R.
right, all right, girl. Oh my God.
I definitely understand. That's
God,
exactly how I feel. Yeah,
God say, sit down now, sit down.
absolutely. Well, I tell you, we're going to take a quick break, and then what we're going to do is, after we take a break, then we're going to go ahead into our second segment. And I want you to talk to us about the journey of what that's been like since your surgeries. I know you said you had 3 different surgeries, and I want you to talk to some of the women who might be experiencing what you've gone through,
Okay.
and not quite sure. Like, I want you to be able to share with us some of the signs. What
Okay.
made you decide to just check your breast? Did you just say, "Oh, well, let me just go ahead and just feel my breast," or was there something that took place? But we're going to talk about that in the next segment. So make sure you guys stay with us. Thank you so much for watching. With my guest, we'll be back with my guest, Denise Hurd. We'll be right back after this.
Are you a woman in need of wisdom? Do you sometimes battle with separating who you are now versus who you feel like you ought to be? Do you question God's plan for your life? Is there a sense of uncertainty in the areas of choosing healthy relationships? Hi, I'm Nadira, CEO and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. We offer classes and webinars in the area of life and business so that you can be equipped to succeed in the marketplace. For enrollment or for more information, please visit us at www.womenofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the inside. We are back with my special guest, Denise Hurd. And I just realized that you had Hurd on your thing, and then I had Brown on the flyer. I didn't even realize.
I made a name. You can call me Brown.
Okay. Well, we are back with my special guest, Denise Hurd Brown. And she's been sharing with us in segment 1 about how she has become the woman that she is today and how God has used a lot of the things that she's gone through to kind of exemplify joy and to show to her the importance of having rest. So, Denise, I asked in the last segment before we went to commercial break for you to share with us women who, what was it that made you just stop and say, okay, you know what? Let me go get checked. What was it? Was it something intuitive? Did you, I know you said you just felt your breast, but what made you just decide to let me just check my breast? Was it talk to us about what that was like, what that process was like?
I was an A cup. Okay. I had sisters that are D's. They got big boobs. Mm-hmm. So all I had was little A. So when I was driving, and I don't know, it's just something just said, I was just messing around, and I felt a P. And I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I didn't feel sick. I wasn't hurting. It wasn't hurting. But every day I kept checking it, and it was still there. And like I say, when I say a pea, it's like one of them green peas. It was hard.
Oh, wow.
All breast cancer, from my understanding, breast cancer knots, they don't hurt. They don't hurt. Now, if you get a knot that hurts, that's the one that you want. It's only a cyst where they can go in and stick a needle in and drain it out. So if you find a knot and it don't hurt, want to get that checked instantly, quickly. I have a girlfriend now. She has a lot of bumps all around her breast.
Wow.
But those are just a cyst where they can go in and take them out. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I've never felt my breast. So I think, to be honest, I just really think it was God. Mm-hmm. God was like, because I've never had to do all that. And I would have never thought that I would have had breast cancer because I didn't have no boobs. I would have thought my sisters would have gotten it. The crazy thing is, when you get breast cancer, they make you do the genetics testing. Right. Can you believe that it's not in my genetics. So I was able to call my sisters and tell them, you all would never get it. I asked them, well, how did I get it? And they said it was just something that happened. My mom had breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. Now I have it. And it stops with me. It won't go on to the other girls. So I'm the last one that will get breast cancer so far in our family. So what genetics testing say that I'll be the last one in our family to get breast cancer. So like I said, I don't know how to tell. Men can get breast cancer too, though. You do know that, right? Yeah, men can get breast cancer too. I just suggest that every woman check, just rub in the shower, in the bed, ask the husband, the boyfriend, whoever. Just I would check. To be honest with you, I would check. It's not something to play with.
It's crazy that you said that because I remember when I was pregnant with my 4-year-old, and my mom was here helping me, because I had just lost my husband, and she was here helping me with um, preparing for the baby. And I remember we were making up the bed, and she said, "Oh," and she started feeling her breast, and she said, "I got this lump," and she said, "It's really huge." And I said, well, she said, "Come feel this." And so I walked around the other side of the bed, and I felt her boobs, and it was like 2 or 3 like really big knots. And I thought, "Whoa, that's huge. That feels really." I mean, they were big. They felt really large.
Was she a busty woman?
Um, she was, and
Okay.
what happened was, so when she got to the doctor, one of them was actually, I think, a cyst, and I think the other one, I think she only had like one of them that actually had cancer, but hers was estrogen driven. And so I remember like realizing like, oh my God, this is just not, oh wow, like this is really happening. Like, there's a possibility that she could have breast cancer. And so
Right.
she went in and got checked, and she was stage 2. And she had went through but my mom was so brave even through it. It's like where, you would have thought she would have been scared and fearful. She was just kind of like, okay. And it was, and I believe that, her not really fully understanding the capacity of how this could really affect her life, I think really kind of saved her life because she didn't have to operate in fear. She wasn't really operating in fear because, nowadays we have technology. Technology is,
Yeah.
there's, you have women that have had breast cancer back in the day. They weren't surviving. Now,
We can survive.
women are surviving because of
Yeah.
technology and stuff. And because there's, ways to do early detection early, ways to
Yeah.
find out early to nip it in the bud. So it was just really good that we found out when she was in stage 2. I think she was
Right.
stage 2, grade B.
Yeah.
And,
I had hormonal breast cancer. So you can see me sweating. I have night sweats. I have at least 20, maybe 20 or 30 hot flashes a day. And they're not just like a regular woman's hot flash. Mine are like drenched water, sweat, clothes wet. Um, and we're still trying to work with hormones. My hormones are all out of whack. And it's been about a year now, and we still haven't been able to control it. But like I say, I'm alive. I can sweat, pat, fan.
Look, you breathe, right? The quality of life is not really your quality of life in terms of breathing and functioning has not changed. And so that I know that above all doesn't take away from probably the discomfort of that, but the
Yeah.
fact that you're able to breathe and that you're
Yeah.
able to, still function as, at 100% without, I have sometimes hot flashes sometimes, and I haven't even had that, but so I know exactly what that feels like. But it's one of the things that I think is important is that as women, it's important for us to really study our body and take care of, pay attention to the changes that happen in our body. Especially when I knew it was one particular weekend before I went to New Jersey to my cousin's funeral. I
Mm-hmm.
had been grilling like every weekend up until, and I was eating like chicken because I love chicken. I was eating chicken like 2, 3 times a day. It was so good. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. But because I knew my body so well, me eating the chicken 2, 3 times a day every day for like a couple of weeks, it was building up mucus in my body.
Mm.
And the reason I know it was building up mucus because then I started to, I started like coughing up mucus, and I'm like thinking like, what is really going on? So I started to scale back when I came back from New Jersey, and I thought, okay, let me just lay off for a little while, just see, what's really going on. And I scaled back and for about a week, and I realized that the mucus and everything was complete. I was like, I no longer had the mucus, and then I started to think to myself, like, wow, it's really important that we pay attention to what goes in our body because we don't know. I would even suggest keeping a food journal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
able to really pay attention to because food affects our mood, it affects our body. A lot of the illnesses that we get are related to the foods that we eat. Is because I was watching a documentary yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, like just makes you want to just become vegan because when you think about all the way food, back in the day, eating food was it was a little bit different. It wasn't like how it is now. Now the things that you would have probably casually ate back then, it's almost like you have to walk around like, oh, because of how it affects your body and how everything is filled with pesticides and all kinds of chemicals. And you can literally get to a point to where you feel like hopeless, which is why detoxing is important, which is what we talk about in the wisdom clinic on Tuesdays. The importance of detoxing your body because you can't control how they're doing the food, you can't control what they're doing, the chemicals, but there are some things that you can do to be proactive. You can start at least making sure that you're detoxing your body and
Mm-hmm.
that you're eating a lot, that your choices and what you eat help. Did you notice that with your diet, especially with you? Did you realize that the food that you eat did that help
You
with?
know what triggers mine is sweets. I have to lay off the sweets. Um, Sodas. It'll flare up. Um, what else? Any any little thing really will flare mine up. It's hard. I basically just drink a lot of water because I'm scared if I drink a sip or anything, it's gonna flare. I'll be up all night.
Yeah, sugar actually feeds cancer cells. They actually. I remember like, oh gosh, my son's 19. This had to be exactly about 19 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long since she passed. But it was a lady that I had met when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. And this lady was just like, oh my God, she was such a blessing. And my son, who's 19 now, was maybe 2 weeks old. She used to babysit him for me. And all of a sudden, we had found out she had cancer. And I remember looking at her, and I remember the nurses. I was studying, I was reading, listening to the doctor, or something like that on TVN, and they were talking about. They just happened to be talking about cancer, and I remember um, we were in the house and I was watching her and the nurses were there because she was and I remember saying, why are you eating all this stuff? They had just made her a big old pot of chitlins
Mm.
and she was eating all the stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I just saw this doctor thing and I'm like, and I remember telling her, I said, I don't think you should eat this. And she said, honey, I'm dying already. I might as well. And I thought, wow, you to have that lifestyle where you're eating like that on a continual basis and to not allow your sickness to bring awareness and be like, because who's to say that it won't be reversed if you have
Right.
some things
That's what I did. I stopped eating chitlins, and that's my favorite was chitlins.
really?
Girl, yes. And I might eat a pork chop maybe once a month. A pork chop.
Yeah.
But those are my favorite. Pork chops, hog maws,
Oh my gosh.
pig ears.
Ew. I think of that. That just disgusts me. I think of what chitlins is made of, and I'm like grossed out just by looking at what it's made of. I'm like,
Girl, don't
what's
talk
the
about it.
thing?
Try to go get me something tomorrow.
Wow, those things have an awful smell to it. How do you eat them?
Girl, once they get cooked, they smell good.
Oh my gosh. I think I would probably just vomit at the mere sight of it. I remember 19 years ago when I saw it and they made a plate. I said to myself, oh my gosh, I don't see how she could eat that stuff.
Girl, some hot sauce.
That's what she said.
Hot-
She put hot sauce on it. Ugh.
Yes. Let me tell you one thing too before it's on my mind.
Okay.
There's a girl that we know. I'm on a bike. I ride motorcycles, so there's a girl there, and she's been lying, telling everybody she had breast cancer.
Oh.
I want to tell everybody, if you are diagnosed with cancer and you don't have insurance, Medicaid is going to pick you up instantly. So don't worry. People worry about, if they get cancer, they're not going to be covered because they don't have insurance. If you have cancer, mainly breast cancer with women,
Mhm.
the day that you get diagnosed is the day you call Medicaid, get 100% Medicaid coverage. So don't ever think that if you get sick and you don't have insurance, you won't be taken care of. Medicaid has paid for. I've had 4 surgeries. They've taken care of all of that. All my medication, my chemo pill that I take care of now. So don't worry about, oh, they pay for me to get back and forth to the doctors.
Mhm.
So if anybody get in, you worried about your finances of your medical part, you're taking care of. Leave it.
That's good to know. So if there's anybody out there that has breast cancer or any type of cancer, and you're concerned whether or not
Yes.
if your insurance, it being that you don't have insurance, don't be embarrassed.
Right.
There are government programs that is there to help you.
Medicaid is good, and they give you the best. I've had the best doctors. They have to give you the best doctors.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
you guys don't be afraid. Don't be shy if you're diagnosed and you're not sure which direction to go. First of all, make sure you're just checking your body. It's important for us to get
Yeah.
ourselves checked, on a yearly basis and get ourselves checked so that we can be ahead of the game
Yeah.
and be able to do some things preventatively, so that we're not in a place to where we don't have many choices left and we have to be just forced to take whatever is given to us. So I think it's important for us to keep aware of that. So
And
I definitely understand.
what else is good though? Something else that's good. Um, check your history, your family history. If you know that your mom or your dad had colon cancer, go get that check. You stay on that. Any kind of cancer, your lung cancer, in prostate cancer, anything that your family have had, you need to stay on that. You need to go and get that check often because most of them is genetics.
Awesome. So you guys, if you have any questions or any concerns, we're going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our final wrap up with our special guest, Denise. Denise, thank you so much for just joining us here on the broadcast. I've really enjoyed, just our personal conversation and you just being here on the show. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll continue with our special guest, Denise Heard.
Refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, job stealers, that is what they see. Beautiful faces, thick accents, a melting pot of culture, holding 3 to 4 jobs, back pocket of hopes and dreams, seekers of opportunities, that is what we see. I am Georgia Lawrence, the founding attorney of Georgia Lawrence LLC. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I migrated to the United States with 2 suitcases and $200 to seek a better life. I understand firsthand the importance of having a fighter on your team to navigate the complexity of the immigration system. Hence the reason I chose immigration and human rights law. Here at Georgia Lawrence LLC, we take pride in connecting our passion and purpose to your plan. Give us a call today.
What's going on, guys? It's Daily Trades with Chris here. I'm hosting a 7-day webinar for you to understand how to trade the stock market, futures market, and the forex market. This one particular trading strategy has 3 steps. Okay, very simple. All you have to do is look for a trade, place your trade, and watch your trade play out. In this 7-day webinar, I'm going to be going over exactly how to get into the market, where to get out of the market, where to set your stop loss, take profit, and you're going to have a risk management rule in place too as well. Now, this Z trade, in fact, just dropped 400 points on oil. If you do the math on that, that's about $4,000 just from one contract. If you want to learn how to make $4,000 in one single day with the Z trade, respond back to this email right here. Comment below in this video, and I'll get back to you with all the information that you're looking for.
All right, and we are back in our final segment with my special guest, Denise Brown, and she has been sharing with us in the past 2 segments about her experiences as a breast cancer survivor. And Denise, even when we were, I don't know if we've had a chance to really go into detail, but we were talking during the before the actual broadcast started. It's the 4th of July weekend already, so it sounds like gunshots outside. So if you hear around, you guys know what it is. Talk to us about you've been in 3 different surgeries, and we were talking about resting. Why is there talk to us about what those experiences were like when you were.
Yes, Lord have mercy. I had a double mastectomy. They put the tissue expanders in.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they pump you up until you get to the size that you want.
Mm-hmm.
They took them out and put my implants in. But since I couldn't be still, the first time I got an infection in this one.
Oh, wow.
Because I wouldn't be still. So they took it out and put another one in.
Okay.
So that time I was getting in the bathtub, slipped and fell and split it open.
Oh my gosh.
Then they had to take that out and they said, we're going to do it one more time. This is it. So we did it again. This time, I think, this is the 3rd time. This time, no, not this time. The next time, I was getting out the bed. My arm slipped from up under my arm, and I slipped and bust it open again.
Oh my God.
So he tried to stitch it up in the office, but it got infected. So now this is the fourth, but this is the third or fourth time now that since I can't be still, and I've had too much damage, that they had to take it out, and it's got to stay like this for 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So and I can't do nothing. This one we saying I gotta rest, I gotta sit still, peace be still. So I've got to sit here with this with no boob for 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
Then they're gonna put a tissue expander in again.
Okay.
That's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
And then they'll take that out and put the implant in. And then I will be bed. I won't be able to get out the bed. Besides the bathroom, kitchen and bathroom, I have to be very careful so I won't fall.
It's amazing because something like that will I know that this has caused you to have to draw closer to God and really value, the grace of God that He's given. And each of us have a grace that's given to us, that God has given us according to the faith, according to our faith. And it's just amazing because you sometimes when you see people go through breast cancer, I'm sure for some women it's probably discouraging because you have family members that or friends or close loved ones that pass away. How do you keep yourself focused without having to get discouraged by especially having two close girlfriends pass away? How do you keep yourself encouraged from having to internalize all of the pain and death of losing a loved one?
You know what? I've always been an upbeat. How can I say it? I have a personal relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
When I say sometimes I be walking around here talking and you were thinking I'm having a whole conversation with somebody. I just can't get down. I can't. I can cry because it's me,
Yeah.
but shoot, 5-10 minutes, I'm good. I open my Bible and read me a few scriptures or turn my music on and be walking around here dancing and singing and hallelujah. I'm good.
Wow.
I'm fine. I was sitting here the other day and because they told me if it don't work, they will have to remove this one and close me up and I won't have any breasts. But the devil tried to slip in my brain and make me feel like I'm less of a woman. I say, no, 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 no. Go on and leave me alone. Go back where you come from. I'm still a woman of God.
Yes.
With boobs or without boobs. I'm still
Right.
a woman of God.
That's right. That's
I'm
right.
not gonna let that bother me.
That's
Nope.
right.
I
I'm
think so. I
still
think
his daughter.
I think when you have that daily reminder of the goodness of God, how can you be sad? He said He'll keep your mind in perfect peace when your mind is stayed on Him. I
Stayed
thought
on you
it's good
better
to get
say it.
I was thinking about that last night when I was laying down in the bed and I was, hadn't been feeling well. And that scripture just kept coming to me. I'll keep your mind in perfect peace when your mind is stayed on me. And I just said, you know what, Lord, I'm going to continue to shift my focus and my mind on you because that's where my true peace comes from. My peace comes from being focused on you, not focused on what's going on around me, not focused on what things that that may cause concern for me, but being focused on you. So it's good to see um, you smile. Your smile has such a presence. Like it's just so feel like I just look at you and I just be like, man, I feel better. I feel better because when you get around people that have the spirit of God there on them, that's dwelling on the inside of them, it's hard to look at your situation and be like, man, I have no reason to complain. I have no reason to be upset because God has been so good, and there are so many things that that we always thinking about what's not going right and not realizing that there are some things that are going well, you know.
Yes. And I,
And there's some things that are going well. Thank you, Chris. She said hello. Hi, Chris. And she says my mom was 2 times breast cancer survivor, but God, yes.
yes.
That's, I love it. Even when I was first talking to you and I was just looking at you, I was like, there's something about your smile. It just shows that you have life behind it. It's just when you say how can I frown?
How can I?
You
No. 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 Let me tell you, I sleep. It's not one night I do not sleep. I listen to Abide. Have you heard the Abide app?
know. I think I heard of it, but I don't think I've actually
But
done
let
it.
me tell you what the Abide app is. The Abide app is when they read different stories out the Bible.
Oh, you have
It,
to download
it,
that.
and I sleep. When I tell you, I go to bed with that in my ear. It's either that or I go on YouTube and I listen to somebody. And
Mm,
and I when I go to sleep and when I wake up, it's still playing. God,
mm,
baby, I wake up with a good attitude every morning, and I
yeah.
ain't let nobody mess that up.
It's funny because I did a research with a mentoring group I did some years ago, and it was funny because I was even surprised at the results. It was the first time I had ever done it, but we had taken 2 bowls of rice, and I had almost forgot about it until it showed up on my Facebook stories, and then I started to realize, wow, God, you have a way of reminding me of some things. And so we took 2 bowls of rice, and 1 bowl of rice we put positive words around the container. Love, joy, you are loved, you are appreciated, happiness. And then we took another bowl of rice and we put like negative words like hate, I hate you. And I had each of the girls put their own words that was either spoken over their life or words that the enemy has put inside their head. And it was amazing because after about, I think it was like 7 days, we came back and looked at the rice. And Denise, the rice that had the negative words on it turned black. And I could not believe it. And I thought, I was like, whoa, whoa, the rice had turned black. And I said, hold up. I said, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I was like, let me figure out what the heck is going on. Like, what just happened here? And it was at that point that I realized the power of the spoken word and the
Mm-hmm.
word that not only of the spoken word, but the words that we internalize. So it's which is why the Bible says we have to guard our eye gate and our ear gate. You
Mm-hmm.
have to guard the things until you go to sleep with the word of God. That's the best thing.
Yes, every night, girl, every night.
Yes, and
When I
so
say every
yes,
night.
which would explain why you're so full of joy. And it's not just a temporary thing, it's a part
Uh,
of who you are because it's your lifestyle. You realize it's not something that I'm just doing just for a moment or a season. It's become a lifestyle. So that
I
was
have
pretty
to.
powerful. When
I
I
have.
saw that come up on my Facebook stories, I thought to myself, I said, man, this was a reminder to me, like, wow. That's why I have to shut down. Like if I start to hear a lot of negativity, believe it or not, guys, let me tell you something. If you consume a lot of negative conversation, it
Yeah.
will weigh on your body. It will cause you to feel tired. It'll cause your body will start to ache. And
Mm-hmm.
I had to realize that when I start to hear a lot of negative talk and it starts to be, I have to immediately just say, you know what? Let me just shut it down. I have to disconnect completely because when I do that, I have to, it's like Trent says, protecting your peace. You have to protect your peace. So
Yep.
if you know that, especially nowadays in this day and time, it don't take much for your focus to be off. It don't take much for you to get discouraged. So you have to be intentional with how you start your day. You have to be intentional in what goes in your ear gate or what goes in your eye gate. You can't listen to everything and you can't listen to everybody. You can't take everybody's advice. You can't even, some people, you can't even entertain a conversation with
No.
because of the poison that's coming out of their mouth. And the thing about it is sometimes you don't even know it's poison until you start feeling sick and you be like, dang, I noticed that I'm starting to feel negative because I've been
And
internalized
depressed.
depressed. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Nope. I'll keep that away from me.
Especially if you're going to survive, you have to get in the. I'm like that now, being vulnerable and being sick. I have, I have my close girlfriends that check on me and they make sure my mom and my family check on me and make sure I'm okay. But what I do is when I start to get to the point where I start to feel like I'm starting to, my body is starting to break down,
Hmm.
when I shift my focus and be like, okay, God, I'm going to rest and I'm going to let the word of God restore and heal my body. I'm going to rest. I'm going to do the practical things so that I can rest and be prepared to do this while I'm living. I might as well do what he called me to do. If I'm going to be here, I might as well be healthy. If I'm here, I might as well be in good health. I
Right.
might be in the right mind. I might as well be happy doing it. I don't want to be depressed doing what I'm supposed to do. And I don't want to allow my outside circumstances or even my emotions to hinder me from doing that. So if that means that I have to cut things off in order to survive and be able to make it through, then that's what I have to do. And sometimes you just have to do that.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to do that, even if it is somebody that's, who feel like they have the obligation to be there. Sometimes you just have to just, you have to cut it off just to be able to make it through those moments. What was that like for you? Did you have a lot of people that were around you that were supportive and that was there to encourage you? Or did you have people that were around you that were kind of like, you know,
I,
feeding?
I did everything by myself. I
Wow.
was
So
there
that's
by
even easier.
myself.
That's even easier because now you don't have anybody counteracting your faith.
Actually have, like I said, I ride motorcycles. I have a few biker friends that
Mhm.
would inbox me and check on me. You know, I have a couple of girlfriends that came to see me, but not not like you would think. You know what I'm saying? I did it by myself. I
Yeah.
did it all by myself. Yep.
And maybe it happened that way for a reason because now you have this joy on you, and you don't have it. What that scripture said? The joy, this joy I have, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away.
Baby, me and God got real close. We got real close.
Wow.
Yes, it was David. It was just me and him.
Yes.
That's it. And I was fine. I
Yes.
was okay.
Wow.
I sure
Sometimes
was.
you think that sometimes God, we don't realize that He's all we need until He's all we have.
And that's all I had was him. That was it. He
Wow.
was the only one.
Yes.
He was there when I was crying at night, can't sleep. He was there. He talked to me.
Mm.
Yep.
Sounds good, God. I tell you, ever present help. Ever present help. So, Denise, I'm so grateful, and I thank God for you just taking
Thank
the time
you.
to come on my broadcast and just share your testimonial about you overcoming breast cancer. It's been such a ray of hope, and I'm just like I'm excited to have gotten to know you because just watching you smile just makes me feel like ah, like sickness, what? Not feeling well, what? What do you have to complain about? So I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast so I can continue to get rest, so that
Yeah.
I can get my body rested, so that I can be fully functional in what it is that God has called me to do. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for stopping by. If you
Take
guys have any questions for Denise while the last few minutes on the show, you can leave them in the comments, and Denise and I will make sure that we answer whatever questions or comments. Did you have any last words before we end the broadcast?
no, y'all guys take care. Get checked. And
Definitely.
God first.
That's right, and that's the important thing is keeping God first. It doesn't matter what else you do. If God is not the center of what you do, then it's bound to fall
Mhm.
or fail. So I definitely agree with that. And so, guys, we thank you. Wait, we have a comment coming up, and she said, "You look." My aunt, Rosalind Chambers, said, "You look great." She said
Thank you.
she actually dealt with cancer also, but she wasn't necessarily breast cancer, but she did have a different form of cancer, and thank God it was only she got it. She caught it at a very early stage and was able um, to be able to overcome it and get through it and be
That's
here
awesome.
about it. And that's the key thing is being here to be able to share and tell and talk about it. That's the blessing, being able to talk about it, being on the other side. But it's good to know for those people that are watching that that may not be on the other side quite yet. So it does help to see to hear your testimony as you went through it and then talk about the encouragement that you went through to be
Thank
able to get through that. So it was such an honor meeting
Thank
you.
you.
I'm so excited, and let's keep in touch. Let's keep
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that.
yes, let's keep in touch. I'm around. I'm always around, whether I'm working or whether I'm working from home or out and about. We have each other's phone number. So yeah, let's definitely keep in touch. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast early so that I can get some rest and continue my healing. See, I tell you, even though I knew that today was a special day. I was prepped for today. I was excited. So now I'm gonna have to go back and use wisdom and get my rest so that I can be here.
Hope you feel better.
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling better already just listening to you. I'm like, how can I complain about not feeling well? I mean, oh my gosh. I definitely, I have noticed that I did feel a lot better, but I do know that, a lot of it's going to take a couple of days of just constantly recovering. And then, yeah, so I expect to be recovered very soon, fully. So y'all continue to pray for me. And we
Yes.
will see you next week. Or actually next Tuesday in the Wisdom Clinic. If you have not signed up for the Wisdom Clinic group where you get all information regarding health, I'm telling you, Denise, you got to join the Wisdom Clinic group where every Tuesday we talk about. I've coached Charmaine Harrison. She comes on and we talk about health from everything, eating to digestion to mindset. It's really awesome. So make sure you guys tune in on Tuesday in the Wisdom Clinic to hear about our next health topic, which I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm sure I'll know within a couple of days. So, all right. Until next time, you guys have a wonderful day.
Good night.
Are you a woman in need of wisdom? Do you sometimes battle with separating who you are now versus who you feel like you ought to be? Do you question God's plan for your life? Is there a sense of uncertainty in the areas of choosing healthy relationships? Hi, I'm Nadira, CEO and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. We offer classes and webinars in the area of life and business so that you can be equipped to succeed in the marketplace. For enrollment or for more information, please visit us at www.womenofproverbscoaching.com. And I'll see you on the inside.